Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a brief life update and letting you know about the videos that I'm planning on releasing in the next few weeks. So you may have noticed that I've been absent from YouTube since about August. Basically a lot's happened in the last year, and I thought I would come on today and give you a sort of update on what's happened, why I've been away, and what's going to be coming up on this channel in the next few weeks. So I, as you know, have got long-term health issues. It started about 3.5 years ago now. Still not entirely sure what's going on and what's causing it. I'm under neurology and cardiology at the moment, and trying to get to the bottom of what's going on with me physically. So I was asked to hand in my notice from my job back in October. It's basically been a long battle with my deteriorating health and trying to get the reasonable adjustments that I needed to actually continue to work. And anyway, medical retirement questionnaires, long story short, I was asked to hand in my notice. I found out a week later that I was pregnant, which was an unexpected surprise. So we actually started trying for a baby 6 years ago, and it's been a long road of quite difficult time trying to get to that point. And we'd kind of stopped thinking about it, and then suddenly out of the blue, at almost the worst possible timing you can imagine, bang, it happened. So it was our silver lining to a very difficult situation and a very difficult year. But me losing my income essentially meant that we weren't able to stay living in our house. We weren't able to stay living the life that we'd been living on 2 incomes before, and we needed to retrench. We needed to get more support from family members as well with my deteriorating health. And when we found out I was pregnant as well, that just compounded things and confirmed that we'd made the right decision to move back down to Kent. So we're no longer in the Cotswolds. We are now down in sunny Kent on the seaside. It's not so sunny today. Near our family members, near James's parents. My family obviously live in France, so they're not right on the doorstep, but they're just across the the channel and halfway across France, but not too far for them to travel if they come over on the boat. So we're here now in a rented house. We're going to be living here until our house is sold and until we've worked out what we're going to do next. We're having difficulty selling our house, and the house market hasn't been great since all of this happened last October. One thing and another with Brexit and coronavirus and everything, the house market's just not moving. So we're currently in a bit of a financial pickle because we're paying the mortgage and the council tax and the utilities and everything on 2 properties. We're paying the rent on this rented house, and we're paying the mortgage on the house that we own until it sells. So it really needs to sell because we're just living off 1 income and it's not a massive one. So we're getting a lot of financial support from James's parents to tide us over in this period, but things really need to change as soon as possible. So basically that's what's happened. So I had to give up my allotment, partly due to my health and the fact that I couldn't really manage it anymore, and partly due to the fact that obviously we were moving away from the area. So I don't have my allotment anymore. And obviously I had to give up my career. So I've been trying to do some crafting. Thinking of running an Etsy business possibly. So I've got an Etsy shop, Lizzie Dean Makes Shop, where you can find my wire wrapped jewellery, and I will be doing more quilted and sewn items as well in the future. I'm not sure how much of that I'm going to be able to do and how much of an income I'm going to be able to generate from doing that and doing the YouTube videos and things from home. I'm not exactly a commercial YouTube channel. I'm not going to be sort of endorsing products left, right and centre, because I don't really buy anything or use anything because it's kind of against my ethos. So unless environmentally friendly companies want to sponsor me, I'm probably not going to get an awful lot in the way of channel sponsorships. So just trying to see what I can do and what possibilities there are for me. I don't think that a regular job or a regular office job or anything is physically possible for me with my health issues. It's got to be something that is entirely flexible, that I can do whenever I'm feeling well enough to do something and then just leave when I'm not feeling well enough to do anything. I'm just too inconsistent health-wise and too inconsistent energy and time-wise to be able to handle anything more, really. So that's the state of things at this moment in time. So I'm 30 weeks pregnant now. We're having a boy. He's due at the end of May. All things going smoothly with the pregnancy. So there are some complications. There's so many complications with my pregnancy. I've had a lot of the sort of standard complications. So I had hyperemesis gravidarum. I don't know how you say that. HG, which is an extreme form of morning sickness. So I was so sick so often I couldn't keep down any food or any water for weeks and weeks at a time, and my body went into starvation mode. So I was in ketosis, if you've heard of ketosis, and I lost a lot of weight at the beginning of my pregnancy, which I've gained back now with my massive bump. The baby's doing very well. He's huge. He's in the 95th percentile for his gestational age, so he's doing fine, and I think I'm doing much better now. I was able to be medicated, which a lot of people with HG aren't, so I was very lucky, and I was able to control the nausea from about week 20 onwards, so the last 10 weeks have been much easier. I'm also rhesus negative, which I didn't realise was a thing, but when you're a negative blood type, I'm O negative, which I've known since I gave blood when I was 16, 18, however old it is when you can start giving blood. They test your blood type and tell you what you are, and they told me that I was the universal blood type, O negative. So I knew that already, but I didn't know that there were any pregnancy related issues with regard to that. So if you're a negative blood type, and your partner's a positive blood type, which is most common because only 15% of the population are negative blood types, then you can have complications with your pregnancy. So you have to have what's called an anti-D injection. And because of my family history of blood clots and the fact that I'm basically immobile with my health issues, I'm very high risk for blood clots. So I have to inject blood thinners into my stomach every day now. Fun times. So I'm producing a lot of medical waste at the moment in terms of sharps and things, but that doesn't really worry me. Such things can't be avoided. You just have to get on and do it. So I'm under investigation by cardiology as well to see what's going on with my heart, which the obstetrician needs to know before I go into labour, because that could be a problem. And now coronavirus. So the pregnancy has not been straightforward, but now that I can feel him moving and kicking, I feel much better now that I'm not being ill as well. So all in all, I'm enjoying it a lot more now, although I have not yet experienced any of the pregnancy bloom that other people talk about. My skin, my hair, everything is not not good. So I'm missing out on that pregnancy bloom that people mention. So on my channel in the next few weeks, I'm going to be doing a whole load of videos on prepping for a zero waste baby. So various things that I've made in terms of nursery furniture, in terms of nursery storage solutions, in terms of baby clothes, in terms of all sorts of things like that. I'm also going to be talking about how to get good second-hand things for baby. So I was able to get absolutely everything I need for the baby up to 9 months and beyond for less than £180 altogether, and that includes things like a high chair for when they start weaning, and the cot, and all the new mattresses and the sheets, and all the clothes, and all of the manual breast pump, the baby bath, everything that you can possibly imagine. I was able to source it all. Almost everything was second hand. The only things we bought new were the car seat and the cot mattress, because there's safety reasons associated with those, which is why you have to buy them new. Everything else is second hand or made, and I think for £180 spread out over 6 months, it's not been too unmanageable for us, even with our very, very difficult financial situation at the moment. So I'm going to be talking a bit about how I did that. I'm also going to be doing later on today a video on how to make fabric face masks in light of the coronavirus. So the government has given some quite clear guidance on this. Do not buy the medical grade face masks because they are needed by the medical staff on the front line. But they've also advised that people who are caring for a family member who is sick, or the family member who is sick with other family members self-isolating in the house with them, should ideally be wearing masks. And that anyone who's sick and lives alone and has no one locally to go out and get them food, who needs to leave the house to go and get urgent supplies, should be wearing a face mask. But obviously you can't get, and you shouldn't be taking away the stock of medical grade face masks. So I've done quite a bit of research on this, and I'm going to be making a video about all the things I've learned about face masks and how to make your own from supplies that you can get easily at home. I've also got a whole bunch of videos that I had been intending to make back when all of this began, such as how to make zero waste mascara and various things like that. I'm also going to be talking about more baby related things like using cloth nappies, making your own cloth baby wipes, and other things of that nature, nappy rash cream, nipple cream, all of the pregnancy and baby related zero waste ideas that I'm implementing in my life that I think would be interesting to share on here. So there is, unfortunately, if you're not interested in babies, going to be quite a few baby related things over the next few weeks, just because that's what's happening in my life, and that's the things I'm making, and that's the things I'm going to share with you. But interspersed among that, there is going to be the regular sort of zero waste lifestyle content that you come here to watch. So please do stick around, even if you're really not interested in babies. Just skip the baby themed videos. I'm probably also going to do some disability hacks videos on living with a chronic illness and living with a disability, and things that I have found, and particularly I'm going to do one on impending parenthood when you're living with a disability. When I imagined myself being pregnant all my life, I never imagined myself being a disabled parent. So when I finally did get pregnant, it suddenly struck home how different it was going to be to the mental picture that I had in my head of how I was going to be as a parent, and how there were things that were going to be a lot more difficult and not straightforward. And there isn't much information out there. There's not a lot of support, there's not a lot of guidance. There's nothing on the gov.uk or the NHS websites really. The only website that I was given by my midwife was disabledparent.org.uk. That's currently broken. I have emailed them twice to let them know that the website's broken. You can't access any of the information. I've yet to receive a reply. So I'm going to put together a video with all of the information that I've gathered and all of the tips and tricks that I've got from all the various disabled parents that I've spoken to, and my own experience, which will hopefully be a resource for other disabled people who are thinking about having children, or who find themselves pregnant, to access and use. So some of these videos may not be of interest to you, some of them you might just want to skip over, but I think it's valuable content, and I'm going to make it and put it out because it's stuff that's happening in my life, and I think it's valuable things to share. So I am going to share it on here. But as I say, if it's not of interest to you, please just skip ahead and watch a different video. That there will be more content of the regular kind coming up as well. So thanks for listening, and I hope to see you all soon in the comments. And thanks for watching. Speak to you soon. Bye.